So she had no idea that the police are going to come knock on her door and say, not only do you not get all the stuff from your aunts and uncles, which you're trying to steal from the estate, but we're actually arresting you. Can a forgery expert figure out who forged somebody's name? I get this question a lot because people think, okay, I understand that handwriting experts and forgery experts, they can go to court and say, okay, this was forged. We didn't buy this car. But can you tell who? And that's a great question because I have found that it is more difficult to tell who conducted the forgery than to exclude the person who didn't do it. So step one, at least in my office, is if there's, let's say that there's a VW bug and somebody has passed away and the kids are fighting over the title for this 1963 VW bug. And we're like, hey, we've concluded that the decedent, the lady who died, did not sign the title. Like, we absolutely know that. I'm comfortable saying that. But the problem is there's 5 kids. One of them is probably the suspect. And we can look at all their handwriting and determine which one's more likely to have signed it. However, if you think about a forgery or a Monet or art thieves, like if they're actually craftily mirroring or simulating that signature, they're not going to leave a lot of evidence of their natural writing ability, right? It's going to be like a piece of art project. So in that case, it's really hard to determine which one of those 5 kids, if it was 5 kids, was actually the one that forged it. So the answer is usually we don't know who did the forgery from the handwriting, but circumstances would generally reveal, that help the court reveal, help the police reveal who. For example, I'm driving along the I-35 between Austin and Dallas, and there was a case in Tyler, Texas, where there was an entire 3-page will allegedly written in the grandma's handwriting that clearly was not in the grandma's handwriting. And I wrote a letter that said not only is it not in the grandma's handwriting, it is in the niece's handwriting, and here's why. So she didn't do a very good job of copying her grandmother's handwriting, and it looked an awful lot like her own natural handwriting. So I guess that, 20 years old or 16 years old, she just didn't know handwriting experts even existed. So she had no idea that the police are going to come knock on her door and say, not only do you not get all the stuff from your aunts and uncles, which you're trying to steal from the estate, but we're actually arresting you. That was a civil case that the letter was so persuasive that the police called me to verify that it was real, and they went and they arrested her and they charged her with forgery and attempted theft of estate. So absolutely, handwriting can be used to criminally prosecute. In that case, I was able to tell who the forger was because it was an entire page of handwriting and the natural tendency showed up. But in a signature alone, I would say your best bet is to bet on making sure that the signature is proven to be non-authentic or authentic. And then whoever benefited from that probably had a hand in creating the document, but leave that to the judge and leave that to the district attorney and the investigators on the case, because there's probably other evidence that that person was creating crime besides just the ink on paper. My name is Bart Baggett. Hit like or subscribe if you like this kind of content. I talk about real legal cases, talk about real forensic cases, a lot of psychology. We do a lot of criminal analysis. And I just really love people. I even love bad people sometimes because they name great stories. Hit like and subscribe. I'll see you next video.